You are sitting on a bomb. Not a nuclear weapon, not a rogue asteroid silently hurtling through the dark with our planet's name carved into its side. You are sitting on a bomb woven into the very fabric of existence itself. Everything you see around you, everything you can touch, every single person you have ever loved, and the very concept of time and space is a fragile illusion of safety. Humanity has built its entire history on a colossal, comforting lie. We look up at the night sky and we see ancient, eternal stars. We assume the universe is a stable fortress. We trust that gravity will always pull, that fire will always burn, and that the ground beneath our feet is the absolute, unquestionable foundation of reality. We trust that physics is a fixed, unbreakable law. But it is not. The universe is not a fortress. It is a precarious house of cards balancing in the middle of a cosmic hurricane, and we are just entirely blind to the wind. There is a terrifying flaw written into the code of reality. It is a virus hiding in the background radiation of existence, waiting for a single, microscopic trigger. This virus is known as false vacuum decay. It is not an explosion, it is not a collapse, it is an absolute, perfect erasure. It is the sudden and irreversible deletion of the universe as we know it. Look at the device you are holding right now. Feel the solid weight of it in your hands. Feel the air moving in and out of your lungs. Look at the colors illuminating the screen. Every single atom that makes up your body and the entire reality you are experiencing in this exact second is held together by a temporary, incredibly fragile promise. You exist because the universe is currently allowing you to exist. But the universe is hiding a secret basement, a lower level of reality that it desperately wants to fall into. If reality realizes it can drop down into this deeper abyss, it will. And the trigger for this catastrophic fall could happen anywhere, in any galaxy, at any given moment, without a single warning sign. But what exactly is this flaw in the matrix? How can reality itself just shatter? And why are the greatest, most brilliant minds on the planet secretly terrified of a single, invisible spark in the dark? To understand how a universe can simply delete itself, we have to understand the invisible ocean that we are all drowning in. It is called the Higgs field. You cannot see it, you cannot smell it, but it is everywhere. It is the water of our cosmic fishbowl. The Higgs field gives mass to everything. It gives form, substance, and structure to the particles that make up your flesh and the stars above. Without it, atoms would disintegrate. Everything would fly apart at the speed of light. You are only solid because the Higgs field allows you to be solid. But the universe is fundamentally lazy. Everything in existence constantly seeks to rest, to find the lowest possible energy state. Think of a heavy boulder resting at the bottom of a deep valley. It cannot fall any further. It is stable. It is safe. For decades, physicists believed our universe was exactly like that boulder. We believed we had settled at the absolute bottom of the energy valley. We believed we were in a true vacuum, the safest, most stable state of existence. We were wrong. Imagine you are living in a towering, billion-dollar luxury penthouse. You sleep on what you believe is the ground floor. It feels like solid concrete. You walk on it, you jump on it, you build a family, You construct massive cities, and you live out your entire life trusting that this floor is the ultimate foundation. But you are completely blind to the terrifying truth. Your concrete floor is actually a microscopic, incredibly thin sheet of glass. And you are not on the ground floor. You are suspended trillions of miles above an infinite, bottomless, pitch-black abyss. This glass floor is the false vacuum. We are living on the glass. Our entire universe, with all its galaxies, nebulae, and billions of years of history, is built on a false bottom. We are resting in a tiny divot on the side of a massive cosmic mountain, confusing a temporary ledge for the absolute bottom. And here is the terrifying part about living on a glass floor over an abyss. It does not take a massive earthquake to break it. In the bizarre, rule-breaking world of quantum mechanics, a particle does not need enough energy to smash through the glass. Because of a phenomenon called quantum tunneling, a particle can simply bypass the barrier entirely. It is like rolling a pair of dice and randomly teleporting straight through a solid brick wall. If just one single particle in the entire universe randomly tunnels through that glass floor, it fractures, the floor shatters, and the universe drops. When that drop happens, a tiny bubble is born. This is the bubble of true vacuum. Inside this bubble, the laws of physics are dead. The rules of chemistry are instantly rewritten. The forces that hold your DNA together dissolve. Inside the bubble, existence as we understand it is entirely impossible. And this bubble does not just sit there. The moment it is born, it aggressively expands outward in all directions at the exact speed of light. It is a sphere of perfect destruction, devouring planets, swallowing entire solar systems, and erasing galaxies without leaving a trace of ash. It is an unstoppable wave of nothingness, moving so incredibly fast that you would never even see it coming. You might think this is just wild, abstract math. You might think this is just a ghost story physicists tell each other to sound important. But this is not a theory scribbled on a dusty chalkboard. Scientists actually went looking for the bottom of the mountain. They built the largest machine in human history to test the strength of the glass floor. And what they found buried in the data made their blood run completely cold. The drama unfolds 100 metres beneath the serene, picturesque border of Switzerland and France. Down in the crushing dark, humanity built a 27-kilometre ring of superconducting magnets, chilled to temperatures colder than the deepest voids of outer space. This is the Large Hadron Collider. It cost billions of dollars and consumed the brilliant minds of over 10,000 scientists from across the globe. They were not looking for a new energy source. They were looking for the architect of reality itself. They were hunting the God particle, the Higgs boson. For years, it was a brutal, agonizing struggle. Imagine smashing two invisible needles together at 99.999% the speed of light, hoping to catch a glimpse of the spark they make before it vanishes in a trillionth of a second. The physicists endured endless failures. They sifted through oceans of dead data. Careers were staked, reputations were risked, and intense frustration haunted the control rooms. It was a high-stakes battle to force the universe to give up its deepest, most heavily guarded secret. Then came the summer of 2012. The colossal detectors, Atlas and CMS, finally caught the ghost. The numbers spiked, the data aligned. They had found the Higgs boson. In the auditorium, grown men and women wept openly. Decades of theoretical agonizing were finally vindicated. But the champagne hid a terrifying, looming shadow. Finding the particle was only half the battle. To understand if the universe was safe, to know if our glass floor was thick enough to hold us forever, they had to measure the exact mass of the Higgs boson. And then they had to pit it against the mass of another fundamental monster, the heaviest particle in existence, the top quark. It was a cosmic wrestling match for the fate of reality. The mass of the top quark acts like a gravitational anchor, violently pulling the universe down toward collapse. The mass of the Higgs boson acts as a shield, pushing back, trying to keep the universe stable and safe. If the Higgs was heavy enough, the math dictated that we were completely safe. The universe was in a true vacuum, no glass floor, no abyss. But if the top quark overpowered it, the math dictated that the universe should have collapsed billions of years ago. The scientists eagerly plugged the incredibly precise measurements into the fundamental equations of quantum mechanics. They ran the numbers, they ran them again, and the results did not land in the safe zone. They did not land in the collapse zone either. By an agonizing, terrifying cosmic coincidence, the numbers landed perfectly in a bizarre, impossibly narrow sliver called the metastable zone. The math proved it. The glass floor is real. The universe is metastable. We are trapped in a temporary state, perfectly balanced on the razor-sharp edge of a blade. Our reality is not permanent. It is just waiting for the inevitable decay. The legendary physicist Stephen Hawking reviewed the terrifying math and issued a chilling warning to the world. He realised that the Higgs potential could become unstable and that a catastrophic vacuum decay could happen at any time. The horror of this discovery is the absolute lack of warning. A quantum fluctuation could trigger the drop tomorrow, or it could have triggered it a billion years ago. Right now, as you listen to this, a bubble of true vacuum could have spawned in the Andromeda Galaxy. It could be expanding at the speed of light, rushing through the dark void of space, tearing apart stars and planets as it screams toward Earth. Because it moves at the speed of light, there will be no warning alarm. The sky will not turn blood red. The news stations will not broadcast an emergency alert. The scientific community will not have time to panic. The light carrying the image of the bubble would arrive at the exact same fraction of a millisecond as the bubble itself. We map the very edges of our reality. We prove that the devastating fall into the abyss is mathematically possible. But what does a conscious feeling species do when it finally uncovers the truth? What does it mean for the sheer point of existence if every monument we build, every piece of art we create, and every memory we hold can be permanently deleted from the universe without a single trace? We are living on borrowed cosmic time. The discovery of the metastable universe shatters our grand illusions of permanence. It renders all human conflict, all rising and falling empires, and all our obsessive hoarding of wealth completely and utterly meaningless on a universal scale. We are ghosts haunting a house that is marked for demolition. But inside this terrifying paradigm shift, there is a strangely beautiful philosophical gut punch. If the universe is desperate to collapse, if reality itself is a fragile pane of glass suspended over absolute nothingness, then the very fact that you are here right now is a statistical miracle. Every single breath you take is a defiant, violent rebellion against cosmic probability. We build monuments out of stone, hoping to outlast time. We write histories hoping to be remembered. But the universe holds the ultimate, unbeatable delete key. You cannot fight the true vacuum. You cannot outrun a bubble moving at the speed of light. All you can do is look at the fragile, metastable reality around you. Look at the people you love and realize that this fleeting, temporary moment is infinitely more valuable because it was never guaranteed to last. The bubble could be 1 inch away, and your only warning will be absolute nothingness.